Hi, welcome back to the third installment of our 8-part series on strengths development for individuals and teams. I'm Jen. I am your host for this series and the founder of Lead with Curiosity. My intent in putting out this series is to provide a bird's eye view of what it could look like to work on strengths development as an individual or as a team, or maybe both. So for this particular part of the series, what I wanted to do is talk a little bit about what does it mean to have a talent or a strength. So if we think about the way Gallup defines these talents or talent themes, these are the natural ways that someone shows up, the way they think, the way they feel, the way they behave. It is just the thing that comes so easily and so naturally for them. Those are their talents. And so when we think about really building a talent into a strength, it's about applying some effort, applying some intentionality, some awareness, and really being able to understand the full range of that talent in order to develop it into a true strength that can be called on whenever needed. So when I think about how we develop these talents into strengths, what I will often encourage folks to think about is a dial. So if you think about any kind of dial where you can turn it up and you can turn it down, strengths are very much like that, where in any given situation, you will over time learn to witness and be able to see when is that talent really turned up too far? When is it just right? And when maybe is it in use too much and maybe I need to turn it down. So an example would be if we think about achiever, which is globally one of the more kind of popular top talents. Achievers are individuals that really just excel at getting things done. But it's not just that. They draw energy from kind of starting their day at zero and being able to go through their day, knocking things off their to-do list. They gain a lot of energy and a lot of momentum by the things they accomplish. They often will like to summarize their day by not maybe who they talked to and how the day felt, but what did they get done? What are the tasks that were completed during that day that made it a success? The achievers in your life may often approach you in that way. So when we think about achiever as that's the best of the achiever, there are situations where having that on your team and having that person really lean into that talent is going to serve them and the team really, really well. But there are also going to be circumstances where perhaps we need to do a little more relationship building. And maybe we need to turn down that achievement side and we need to kind of put a pause on that and be able to make space for some other things that are needed in that moment. And so developing an understanding of the range that a talent has is really important to really building it into a strength so that I can call on it when I need it. I can notice it when maybe it's kind of running the show a little and I might need to temper it. And I start to develop this understanding of how other people sort of see that part of me and my value to the organization with that particular talent. So I hope that's helpful to kind of think of it as a range. There are no bad talents, right? There is no perfect profile. This work is really about learning how to lean into the best of yourself and developing language for what that is so that you understand it, but you can also articulate it to others. I hope this has been helpful. We'll see you next week.